Should you plan a trip to this magical world? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Phillips and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, starring Mackenzie, Keira Knightley, and Helen Mirren. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to our spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with some spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film and our final word. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms follows the story of a young girl who's transported into a magical world of toy soldiers and an army of mice. Overall, this was a disappointing film. It takes everything great about the Nutcracker ballet and throws it out for exhausted tropes. For what I liked about this film, let's start off with the cast. Mackenzie does a decent job trying to command this film in her first leading role, although at some points she feels lifeless and void of personality, making it hard to connect with her. Helen Mirren is her typical sassy self in a limited role, but this film is Keira Knightley's. The character of Sugar Plum is so far out of Keira Knightley's norm, and yet she's able to bring a complexity and charm to this flawed fairy. This film is a visual delight, between its intricate costumes, bright colors, and fantastically beautiful world. And the score is one of the more memorable parts of the film, as it manages to bring the magical melodic themes of Tchaikovsky's classic back to this tale. However, Disney fails to avoid many of the exhausted tropes that hinder this classic tale. From the overused child trying to find meaning after a parent's death, to the traveling to a mystical land to become its savior, the Nutcracker pushes away from its most important aspects to adhere to trendy themes from the last decade. The story is filled with a lot of forgettable characters that take a back seat to the daughter-mother-centric story. The script also has its fair share of weird dialogue issues and continues to veer away from everything that made the classic so unique. I mean, this film only has one major dance scene, which completely lacks in the quota needed for a film about a ballet. And the CGI can be hard to look at times, especially with some of the toy soldiers who look so inorganically placed into some of their scenes. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear our final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. Considering this story is adapted from one called The Nutcracker and the Mouse King, it was very disappointing to see that neither of these characters had a prominent role in this story. The captain is no longer a cursed nutcracker, but just a soldier who's doing his duty, taking one of the most fundamental aspects of the original and throwing it out the window. Meanwhile, the Mouse King is just a bunch of smaller mice that come together to visually appear like a giant mouse, which destroys the entire character and a vital part of the original story. And of course, there's the blatant destruction of Drosselmeyer's storyline, giving us a very uninspired and pointless Morgan Freeman cameo. It seems like Disney wanted to make their own original concept that seemed like a mix of The Nutcracker, Chronicles of Narnia, and Alice in Wonderland, but instead of doing something with an entirely new theme and characters, they wanted to attach a previous intellectual property onto it and called it The Nutcracker and brought everyone over that's interested in the ballet to see this movie. But if you're going for that, you're going to be disappointed. And the best scenes to me were the mousetrap, Clara's confrontation of Mother Ginger, and any scene with Sugar Plum. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms is a magical family adventure that takes the name of a famous ballet, then throws out everything else to do with it. While the world is a marvel to look at and some of the actors deliver, the characters are mostly forgettable, the script is a mess, and some of the CGI borders on passable, making a trip to this realm one that can be easily delayed. This film is a step back for Disney in its live-action content, as it feels like a mix of Cinderella with Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to give The Nutcracker and the Four Realms a 5. Thanks everyone for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing The Nutcracker and the Four Realms? Or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Fanatic 5 video, where we discuss the top Jamie Lee Curtis roles. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. And until next time, Fanatics, keep it real.